News and Events COVID-19 on July 14. Note, this is a collaborative video made between Travel4all FanPage and Knowledge of Coronavirus channel. Please respectfully welcome everyone. The following is the remarkable news most on July 14 as follows. 1. Updated global COVID-19 on July 14, 2020 as of 6 p.m. On July 14, the world recorded an additional 191,773 people infected with COVID-19, bringing the total number of infected people to 13,225,590, including 574,915 deaths and 7,689,653 recovering patients. The Director General of WHO warns too many countries are going in the wrong direction when countries do not follow strict medical precautions. In just 5 days, the number of new global infections increased by 1 million. Reuters reported that after the first COVID-19 cases were reported in China in late 2019, it took 3 months for the number of global infections to reach 1 million. However, these days, it takes only 5 days for the number of global infections to increase from 12 million to 13 million. The World Health Organization, WHO, also pointed out that out of 230,000 new infections reported on July 12, 80% of the cases were from 10 countries. More seriously, 50% of infections come from just 2 countries. Currently, the United States and Brazil are the 2 countries with the highest number of infections in the world. 2. American news. The United States is still the world leader in the number of cases and deaths, with 3,477,513 cases, an increase of 63,518 cases, including 138,211 deaths. The number of cases in the United States has increased dramatically in recent weeks. However, despite the complicated situation, President Donald Trump's administration is still urging schools to reopen next fall. California closed restaurants, bars, and cinemas. On July 13, California Governor Gavin Newsom announced a plan to stop reopening in order to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 epidemic as the number of new infections in the western U.S. state is rising sharply. Governor Newsom ordered bars to close all operations, while restaurants, cinemas, zoos, and museums across the state stopped all indoor activities. He said churches, gyms, and hair salons were also closed in the 30 hardest-hit counties. The decision was made in the context of an increasing number of cases putting pressure on hospitals in some counties and a stronger epidemic in Los Angeles and other parts of the San Francisco Bay Area. Meanwhile, the 2 largest school districts in California, Los Angeles and San Diego, announced they would only study online in the fall. In March, California was the first state in the United States to order people to stay indoors across the state to fight the epidemic. This action has caused great damage to the state economy. By May, Mr. Newsom was quick to reopen most businesses. Other news from America. 2 U.S. Navy bases in Okinawa were blockaded. 2 U.S. Navy military bases on Okinawa Island in Japan were cordoned off after detecting dozens of COVID-19. Local officials have criticized the U.S. military's disease control. At the U.S. Marine Corps' military base in the Pacific, nearly all movement out of the base was suspended from July 12. Military personnel of this force and their relatives and civil servants may move freely at the base, but if they want to go outside this area, they must obtain permission from competent officials, including medical examination. 3. Brazil news. Brazil continues to be the second highest number of cases and deaths in the world, with 1,887,959 cases and 72,921 deaths. 4. News from Philippines. The Philippine capital was partially sealed. The mayor of Navotas in the Philippines Manila area on July 13 announced that starting July 15 or 16, Navotas residents will have to stay home for 2 weeks. Accordingly, people will be allowed to work but not to exercise outdoors. Shops and companies may still be allowed to open, but restaurants are only allowed to sell. The city currently has about 250,000 people with about 900 cases of COVID-19. 5. Mexican news. On July 13, Mexico overtook Italy to become the fourth highest number of deaths in the world after the Ministry of Health recorded an additional 276 deaths, bringing the total to 35,006. Since starting to reopen the economy on June 1, the number of new cases and deaths has tripled. 6. Indian news. India continues to record high levels of COVID-19 infections during the day, with an additional 28,179 cases in the past 24 hours. The number of deaths in the country is currently 23,727 out of a total of 907,645. As the epidemic situation continues to be complicated, many localities in India have tightened their blockade orders to prevent the spread of the virus. 7. Hong Kong news. Hong Kong experts warn of the virus mutation. Director of the Hong Kong University College of Medicine Luon Trak Lai, Gabriel Loom, said that the SARS-CoV-2 virus has appeared a variant. The ability to infect increased 31% compared to before. The latest statistics show that the immediate infection rate of COVID-19 cases in Hong Kong has exceeded level 3 and nearly 4, meaning that each case of COVID-19 can infect 3 to 4 people. Currently, Hong Kong has recorded 1,470 people with COVID-19 and 7 people died from the disease. 8. China news. China is in danger when 400 rivers exceed the alert level. Chinese president warned the water level on the Yangtze, Hue and some other large rivers are at an extremely alarming level, requiring local officials to go to the front line and try restlessly to protect people's lives. Xi Jinping must also acknowledge that floods have caused gruesome losses in many Chinese provinces. Incomplete statistics of CGTN as of July 13, floods affected 27 provinces and cities of this country. There have been 141 deaths, 38 million affected by uncountable physical damage. On July 13, a senior official of China's Ministry of Water Resources said that since the beginning of June, heavy rain has caused many rivers to overflow. The water level at 433 rivers has exceeded the alert level, of which 33 rivers recorded record high water levels in history. 109 rivers exceeded safe levels. At Baiyang Lake, the largest freshwater lake in China, the water continued to rise over the weekend and exceeded the highest level ever recorded in the historic flood in 1998. In the city of Jiaojiang, near Baoduong Lake, the water level on the Yangtze River increased by 3 m on July 11 and continues to rise, forcing the government to evacuate people under 18 and over 65 years old on a islet located on the island, middle of the river. Particularly for those from 18 to under 65 years old, must stay to join the flood control authorities. The lives of Chinese people are seriously threatened. 9. Indonesia news. Indonesia forced foreigners to stay stuck because COVID-19 had to leave in 30 days. The Indonesian government stated that from July 13, foreigners trapped in Indonesia were forced to leave the country by COVID-19 within 30 days. The Immigration Department of Indonesia has just updated its new rules on stay for foreigners, which stopped the application of emergency residence permits for foreigners stuck in Indonesia because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Jakarta Post reported that the Immigration Department's update was made in the context of Indonesia entering a new normal phase during the COVID-19 season. 10. Thai news. Thailand has demanded increased security in land border areas when concerns were raised about the risk of a second wave of infection after authorities arrested thousands of illegal immigrants last month. Since early June, Thai authorities have arrested 3,000 migrant workers seeking to enter the country through land borders. The Thai authorities also raised concerns about lax regulations for foreigners entering the country by air after 2 people tested positive for COVID-19, one of whom violated the law isolation regulations. Our newsletter is now over. Thank you for always watching and supporting our videos. Knowledge of coronavirus, channel and Travel4all fanpage respectfully, and see you in the next video.
you.